So you have your tiers, your standard, mastercraft, artificer, and relic. Those are pretty much your difference between like Destiny. You know how Destiny has white, green, blue, purple. There, it should be up now. If you want to refresh it. It'll be sooner than that, but yeah. Right. So yeah, if you're looking, if you can see what I'm seeing, then you get your standard Bashcraft, Artificer, Relic, whatever. All right. Each different axe form. So like the one I have on is Relic Alpha. In the Relic section, I've got it equipped right now. You can kind of see how it's got that yellow tag on it. But then it's got another one where the beta, it's a different axe variant, but the stats change from balance to fencing, and that just means fencing is more of a counter. Like you can, so balance is you can block with it standardly without really having any penalty. Fencing is if you try to just normally block attacks without parrying, you're going to take more damage from the enemy just randomly hitting you, whereas you have a better window to parry other enemies. And then there's blocking, which is your parry window is shit, but you can tank oncoming damage a little bit better. And they have like their own variants for it. But then with each variant, each weapon has its own experience attached to it, right? And then all of those experiences combine for the actual tier system. So relic experience is what I'm currently working on. So that's kind of how that works. And like I said, if you look at the top, you can see like there's the power sword, the power glove, the power hammer, and then the fucking, you know, chain sword. But that's all that matters. Okay, your weapon levels are what matters. And that's pretty much about it. And like it's the same thing as with your guns too. Like your guns have the same upgrade system as your weapons, your melees, and then, you know, as you can see with my character currently, I'm a level 23 bulwark, which is fine. You know, I've got pretty, like, my armor's nice and flashy, right? So if I hop into any game, somebody's like, oh, he's played this class for a while, he knows what he's doing, kind of thing. Or, but on the flip side, if I go into my perk tree, because now perks have loadouts too, so each loadout you can have like a different weapon or whatever and attach your different perks to them, which is nice. Didn't used to be like that before. But yeah, now I have my perks active, and all the ones that are shaded in with a solid color, they're not like opaque. Those are the ones that I'm actively using. But at the very bottom row, there's 2 that are unlocked and 2 that are still locked. They've got numbers 1 through 4 on them. Those are my prestige levels. So I am prestige 2, rank 23. What happens with prestige is it resets all of your gear. So your signature, your gear, your team, and your core, all of those perks and artifact stats are fucking gone. You have to reacquire them through experience, but then your bottom row of perks on prestige stay there. So I'm always going to have increased damage with heavy attacks, and I'm always going to have no knockback while in banner. Those are always going to be there when I reset my character. Okay? And then if you look up in the top corner by my name, it says like 730 in like gold coins. Those are my coins, right? You can do like trials here, which is preset challenges for your character to help you get to use them better. There's a battle simulator, so you can test out builds without resetting characters. And then now we get to the fun part, is editing armor. So you can see whenever it fucking pops up here, you can see, so our top row we have here is like your standard issues, right? The first 2 standard issues, you have a helmet or you don't have a helmet. There's no, it's all the same shit, okay? Nothing's changed between those. But then you get into the other tiers, you start getting relics attached to your shit, you know, tomes of battle and everything. And then it starts getting different systems like, oh, now I've got like a skull on my pauldron with some of them. And then it just keeps going on. And that is a cosmetic way of other people saying, oh, he's used to this character, or he's been through hard content with this character. I have all cosmetics for most of my characters. I don't want to say all cosmetics because they have different cosmetics. So like the relic Secundus that I'm floating over now, that's the max for Bulwark. That's it. That is the max. I do have a DLC set of armor that you can't really adjust with. I mean, Angel of Death was I mean, it's decent, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, DLC armor is okay, cool, you bought the DLC, doesn't really show anybody that you've played that character a lot. The set I'm using is a combination between the Secundus and the Deathwatch. And if you go into, like, because you can edit armor sets, so if you look at my shoulder here, it's like silver plated with a skull on it, right? And then the other one's got a cloth with a skull on it. So I have two sets of armor. I have your standard set, and then I have the other set. And the reason I have that is because if I get an emblem, right? If I'm like, oh, you completed this feat, now you have a decal for your character. You can't put the decal on pauldrons with skulls on them. You know? You see how, like, my one knee has, like, a checkered pattern. That's a decal. Well, I can't do that with, you know, some other stuff, so I have two sets of armor setups like that so I can clear out my decals. But, I mean, that's pretty much kind of how the armor customization goes. You just play your character, you unlock armor. If you go into the Astartes chapters, because, like, right now we're in armor sets, so we'll go over to chapters. And it is like a custom decal for that chapter. If you want to be Black Templars, Tech Marines, Carcardodons, you know, Raven Guards, Salamanders, all that kind of fun shit, you can. And some of them, yeah, some of them say DLC, but then some of them are just locked, right? So the locked ones, it'll be done. This is another thing, like, oh, that's a lot. You were saying that's a lot of armor. Yeah, actually. You'd go up to the Heraldry tab, right there next to the armor sets, and that brings up the Heraldry on what a lot of this stuff is. The first 5 tabs you can standard purchase. The other 7 are DLCs that they've dropped throughout the years. And like, let's see if I can find one. These are first foundings. Okay, yeah. So, in the first tab here for the Adeptus Astartes, if I'm hovering over Black Templars here, it'll show Black Templar, left pauldron decal, right pauldron decal, right greave decal, left greave decal. But then there's also a Black Templar's armor part. The little gold icon down there, and if we go into it, and then whenever fucking my stream catches up here, so yeah, we go into it and you look at the armor part, it has a new helmet with a Black Templar cross in the middle of the helmet. So I'm actually using the Death Guard. Not Death Guard. I don't know where Deathwatch. So that's in the unknown foundings. The reason I'm using Deathwatch is because let's see, Deathwatch is, that's the arm. Oh, better representation. There it is. Okay. Whenever it catches up here. So the Deathwatch, the reason I'm using that, it's an arm, a pauldron, a leg, and a helmet. Okay. The arm, pauldron, and leg is all on the left side. But the reason I'm using Deathwatch is because of the main campaign. You play as Titus, who is the same guy from the very first Space Marine game. If you haven't played it, it's also fantastic. In that one, you're fighting the Orcs as a faction. This one, you're fighting Chaos, the Chaos Marines, and Tyranids, the Hive people. But yeah, the Death Watch, after the first game, Titus inadvertently or purposely disobeyed direct orders from his commanding officers, which in this universe is treachery. They will fucking kill you for it. But since they decided, even though you did fuck shit up, you did, supposedly got some of your team killed, but you ultimately carried out the mission, they exiled him into the Death Watch. Okay? And as you play through the campaign, and as you unlock Death Watch armor, after the campaign, or while you're, because you can switch between campaign and then PvE as much as you want. And so as you do this, as you switch through, if you go through the campaign, you walk past Titus's living quarters multiple times, and you will see his Death Watch armor in his room more and more as you unlock it in PvE, and he has interesting conversations about it. So that's why my Bulwark has Death Watch armor on, As far as DLCs go, there's the Raven Guard cosmetic pack, which, I mean, I've never been a fan of Raven Guard in general with 40 Hammer lore. The Space Wolves chapter packs as well, which they're cool, pretty nifty. Blood